This is Mark Radcliffe. We're backstage at Glastonbury on the last day. And welcome Damon Albarn, Paul Simonon from The Good, The Bad and The Queen. How are you?
Good.
Good, yeah, good to see you. I think I've not faded up your mic, David. So, you know,
okay, I'm here.
I'm new to this. You know.
We're all new to this.
You're straight from another festival.
Yes, in Belgium. What do you call it?
Werchter. Right. Okay. Yeah. So
it's big. It's like 90,000, and it was 40 degrees. So there were a lot of very. And they were on their last day. They'd had 3 days of that heat.
Yeah.
It's quite. Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of one of those things. It's a sort of. It's wonderful for a festival, but it's also actually a nightmare.
Yeah. It was
keep an eye on everybody. Really.
Loads of people were just spending yesterday looking for shade.
Yes, I heard.
The Fat White family were just been in before. So the only place they could get into with shade was in the children's storytelling tent.
Are they the
nice way to spend the afternoon.
The Fat Tanned family.
So how did it go yesterday? It was all right. So we
haven't played for a few weeks. So you know. Being part of the senior civil service, you know.
No, it went great. It went very well, and it was quite nice because she was playing in a sort of a tent that had sort of not party lights, but sort of bulbs. You know, like they have
it was
on
a
the pier.
Beautiful setting for us.
So it's theatrically set perfectly for us.
Yeah, that's great because I saw you in that theatre in Liverpool at the Six Music Festival, and I can't remember.
I have to apologise again for my voice on that.
Well, it sort of sounded all right to me, and I was listening, but it was your own fault, wasn't it?
It was my own fault because I'd been singing with the Slaves the night before, and I got so carried away because, you know, they've just got so much energy about them.
You were shouting, weren't you?
Yeah, well, it took me back to sort of Colchester in 1987 or something.
Yeah. But your voice is repaired now.
I think so.
But we were talking about, that was a kind of nice old, slightly faded theatre in Liverpool, wasn't it?
Beautiful. Which had that kind of a cellar for elephants, and then there was a tunnel that went straight to the docks. And I love that image.
And the brothel, apparently. I think. Yeah.
Well,
is it true? Is it true that you bought an organ from backstage that night?
I did. Yeah.
It's a strange place because next to it was like a disco.
It's an amazing.
It was a disco which had been left frozen since the 80s.
It's like it's an 80s Lowry, and anyone who's into like their organs, Lowry are really fantastic.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it, and the fact that they wanted to get rid of it was even better.
Someone said Damon bought that organ. I thought, I must check that with him. It was just lying backstage.
I haven't had the chance to play it yet because it had to go to the Menders for a little while.
Right.
But you know, when it gets back. It was...
and we're talking about the theatres and the settings, as you say, because, Maryland, the album, which I love, as you know, I mean, there is an element of sort of music hall to that, isn't there?
Well, very much so. I mean, this is the first time me and Damon started working together. Initially, for the first Good, The Bad and The Queen record, we both had a passion for vaudeville, music hall, and that period of British music, which sort of carried on through the Kinks, Madness, and Ian Dury. So, but ours is sort of defining our music in terms of these influences. It's hard. It comes
from so many different
folk
perspectives, and you know, you've got Tony Allen, the doyen of Afrobeat.
I didn't realise he was quite as old as he is.
Yeah, no, well, he
he
certainly doesn't realise he's as old as
he doesn't act like it.
No, he's like late 70s, isn't he, or something? I mean,
Yes, 79.
Wow, amazing, yeah. It feels appropriate, really, that you doing this, because I remember being here, it was at Glastonbury 3 years ago, that I woke up to the referendum result.
Oh, yes.
I thought 52-48, that's about what I expect. Hang on a minute.
Yes,
it's the other way round.
Yes, that's a surprise, isn't it?
And here we are with your album being played today, still trying to make sense of it all.
Well, I mean, I actually was I was part of the first act on that morning with the Syrian National Orchestra.
I remember that, yeah.
And we'd woken up at this lovely hotel outside of Glastonbury, and you know, all the English people in the group were like, you know, some of us were actually in tears.
Yeah.
It was a very weirdly emotional moment, and they were just extremely excited to be playing Glastonbury and couldn't understand why we were being so morose.
Right.
And I mean, we opened the whole festival. And I don't know, I felt like democracy was had taken a really bad knock for that day, and I'm kind of interested to sort of, you know, look at it in that perspective with that 3-year span, and kind of and actually look about, you know, was that true? Is it better, or is it in a weaker position at the moment? You know, because it's transformed, you know. Well, and as Putin said, you know, it's over. It's finished. We're into a new era of populism.
Are we into a new era of what it means to be English? Because I mean, that's something you're confronting on this record, aren't you? Sort of definitions of Englishness in a way.
Well, when you say that, I mean, in terms of this record, I see it sort of like a pilgrimage through the country, but it's like through this green and sometimes pleasant land.
Yeah.
And that's really what comes out of the record in terms of the sentiment and lyrics. So I mean, it has been said, it's about Brexit. It's not. It's just that's something sort of
it's about English.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, we played it quite a bit in Europe now, and places like Berlin, it went down like, I don't know, like a home crowd.
Right.
And
they're kind of as interested in our madness as
but
we
it's
are
like a very English show,
involved in it.
So it's quite a strong cultural thing. I think that's what they liked about it, because it didn't have any leanings towards anything other than just being English.
Yeah.
And so it's quite a pure. It's like sort of travelling show that arrived, say, like French performers coming over to in the sort of 1700s, coming over to England and performing.
Yeah.
It's like a cultural exchange.
Right. Yeah. Well, we look forward to it. I can blissfully, I'm not working when you're on, so I can come and see you. I hope I can get near the stage, because yesterday for Foals it was insane up at the park. Yesterday,
right,
it was crazy. What about Glastonbury for you guys? I mean, you've been here a few times. I remember you were both there doing the Gorillas thing, which that was a late booking, wasn't it?
Well, the year before I played with Blur.
Blur was here for that as well.
And then that year we played that because it was a late booking. And it was quite an experiment, really, and it was kind of after doing Glastonbury, we sort of changed our tactics, really, about how we were approaching the live show
with Gorillas. This is
and then it went on and went on and went on and went on, and you know, it's one of those things that now is sort of it really works live, but you know, it was a bold thing to do it the way we did it, and you know, we're all really proud of it. You know, remember we had people like Lou Reed, Marquis Smith, Bobby Womack, people that are sadly no longer with us, and it was a really, you know, and Snoop Dogg, and
amazing.
It was a really a special night, but you know, we experimented, and sometimes the pyramid stage is not the place to experiment, whereas this stage is I did the first ever Africa Express night here, and that was a really, really special moment, I think.
Yeah.
So that's the nice thing about Glastonbury. But you've got to pitch your tent in the right part. Of the farm to get it right. Otherwise, can go a bit wrong.
Well, we look forward to it. Did the Clash never play Glastonbury, did it?
No, we didn't. No, Strummer used to like come in here a lot after the Clash, and he kept trying to get me to come down. I said, no, listen, mate, you have your hippie festival. I'm gonna stick with it. Notting Hill Carnival. That's not more my speed. But then Damon, when we worked together doing the Gorillas that time with Bobby Womack and Lou Reed, that was the first time I'd been here.
Right.
So this is my second.
Is it? Right. Yeah.
And I still prefer Notting Hill Carnival.
Right. Fair enough.
But you know, I think the nature of this festival has transformed, you know, in many, many ways. But it is definitely a much more multicultural experience now, and that is only a good thing.
Absolutely.
Only a good thing.
Lovely to see you. We look forward to it later on this afternoon. We'll play something from the first Good, the Bad and the Queen album, actually. This is Herculean.